Joining me in our Washington studio is attorney Irene Chen. She's got a lot of experience in international trade law and previously served as a legal advisor at the U.S. Department of Commerce and the U.S. Trade Commission. Irene, welcome to our program.
Thank
you.
So
much to talk about, but I want to switch gears with my first question and really focus on different tariffs, the ones on steel and aluminum imports. A number of countries, we found out today, will be exempted. The European Union, Argentina, Brazil, South Korea, Canada, Mexico. China is not on that list. How unprecedented or unusual is it in the world of tariffs and trade to have this kind of exemption?
Well, trade is always a basis for negotiation between countries. So the Trump administration came out of the gate with steel and aluminum tariffs on all countries except for Canada and Mexico.
But it changed.
But it changed because every day they're negotiating with all of these countries. These countries are looking for those exemptions. The EU was very aggressive in coming out of the gate to get that exemption. And the Trump administration seems to be positioning itself to grant exemptions to countries that it can align with, possibly against China. So this is obviously a strategic move on the Trump administration's part.
As you heard our reporter Nathan King at the White House, moving to the new tariffs that the President Trump signed today, there is a 15-day waiting period before this takes effect. Do you expect any kind of negotiation, any kind of breakthrough between these two countries that might put this whole tariff thing on pause?
At this point, likely not. In the U.S. Trade Representative's report regarding this investigation on Section 301, they outlined that bilateral talks have been going on between China and the U.S. since 2010. And these negotiations centered around China's domestic IP, or intellectual property laws, that appear to favor domestic participants over U.S. tech companies. For example, allowing market access only if U.S. companies would transfer trade secrets and technology to Chinese companies. So this has been going on for 8 years at least, and it seems that the Trump administration is doing this really as a shot across the bow to say, well, we've tried diplomacy, we've tried to discuss this, negotiating across the table, and China apparently has not acted to its satisfaction, so now the U.S. has raised the stakes.
Let me ask you about what it means to have a trade war between China and the United States, the biggest economies in the world. What does it mean in terms of domestic economy for the United States, the global economy, and then the relationship, the economic relationship, the political relationship between these two countries?
Those are all interwoven. The economics of a trade war would be detrimental to both countries. For example, the Section 232 tariffs, I'm hearing from others or clients that the metals market, for example, is skyrocketing right now. To manufacture a car, there's now a 25% tax on all the steel and metal components that go into that car. So you have the domestic pressure on the Trump administration to say, get this resolved right away. At the same time, China may be ramping up its efforts to place tariffs on incoming U.S. exports to China. This could hurt both sides.
And where do you see quickly China targeting? Would it be agricultural exports, soy?
It would likely be where it hurts the most to the U.S. It would not necessarily be a reciprocal thing because both sides are looking to maximize the hurt to the other side.
All right, we'll leave it there. Irene Chen, thank you so much.
Thank you.